This show is taped at La Cenne, a space for creation and collaboration. Artists, thinkers, and creators of all stripes tell us what inspires their work, a starting point that takes us into their creative process in their own words. Welcome to Who Inspires You. Jenny Salgado, also known as J. Kill, is a singer and songwriter. She broke into the music scene with her group Mazayan. In 2010, she launched her first solo album, Et tu te suivras. She's won numerous awards and is regularly called upon to write for various events. Jenny is also an activist. She's been a spokesperson for Black History Month, the World Women's March, and Amnesty International. Just recently, she participated in the book Le Saint-Michel des Haïtiens, celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Saint-Michel neighborhood in Montreal. She also writes music for documentaries. Jenny, welcome. Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
So let me ask you right off the bat, who inspires you?
Who inspires me?
Or what inspires you?
You know what's really weird? Like I was telling you, when I got the email and the topic of today's interview was who are your contemporaries, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know for what reason my brain just jumped directly into my past.
Yeah.
It's almost as if I had read like who are your inspirations in history, or you know who has been there before you and you have to follow. I don't know why. And then I thought a lot about it in the past days. It took me a couple of days to go back to the email and see the word contemporary, which means today, right?
Yeah.
So I thought about it and I was like, it's because we tend to make a symbol out of the past, right? The past has become sacred because I feel it's easier to relate to what has been done in the past. It's locked in, the details are there, the stories are there. It's easier than finding something really defined today in the present, right? Same thing about the figures of the past, the heroes of the past. They become symbols that we put on a pedestal, and we look at them on our walls, T-shirts and necklaces, and you know. And I feel like symbols is really important. I think those who control the power, the highest power in the system, they know about that. They know how to use a symbol, what kind of weapon it could be, you know. Yeah. And it's important to the people, important to the youth to teach them about the symbols, because those symbols will shock you, bring you back on the right trail, so you can remember what has been done before, and maybe like dream about what you can achieve, what you can reach, because there's a face, there's an event, you know, there's a name. You can look at that and be like, okay, I'm reaching for that, you know.
And in your personal past, there's a particular symbol tied to your family history that I think really inspires you?
Yeah, we were talking about my grandpa.
Yeah, that's right.
Completely a symbol. Even his name I learned recently, because something specific about the Haitian, because I'm Haitian, right?
That's right.
Something specific about the Haitian community, especially my generation, all of us who were born here in Canada or the States or France, or, you know, our parents left Haiti to take refuge because of political reasons, right? It's like they brought with them on their shoulders a silence, heavy silence, like a vow of silence that we have to carry with us. And when you know about the history of Haiti, you can understand like what happened and why it is such. I don't know about my family. Like anyone, any Haitian could tell you about the history of Haiti in details and passion, with pride, you know. But when it comes to our stories, our families, we don't know. We don't know.
Because of this silence that you're talking about, that has been carried through the generations of Haitians, even those who've come here. This comes from living under a regime, a totalitarian regime, basically.
Exactly. One of the worst in history. for those who know the history of Haiti. Basically, there was a fort that was built when Haiti was a colony of France, right?
Fort Dimanche.
Fort Dimanche. When Duvalier took power and became the president and dictator of Haiti, he used that fort, he made a jail, a prison out of it. So anyone who would speak against him in any way, shape, or form could be killed right there on their front porch, in front of their wife, husband, children, or taken to rot in this jail for forever,
And a lot of people died in that jail.
A lot of people died in that jail.
Because of the terrible living conditions.
Yeah, some people call it the Auschwitz of Haiti. Now imagine cells so small, like you extended your both arms side to side, front to back, you could touch the walls. And not one or two people in these cells, like 5 to 10 people in these cells, taking turns to sleep. Because you laid down on the floor, you had to bend your knees. You know what I mean? Food on the floor, water every once in a while. Everything being done in the cell, defecating, urinating in the cell. So people were sick, people died, bodies stayed in the cell forever. So that was the price to pay if you were willing to break the silence and talk. Not even only talk against the president or the regime or the government, but if you were someone who had access to the people, wanted to talk to the people and inspire them and give them empowerment, so they could remember about freedom, about what it is to stand together, you were considered an enemy of the state. Bang.
And your grandfather was one of these people that stood up and resisted.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
what happened to him?
He was a true rebel. He went all in 100%, right? So he was part of many organizations who wanted basically to take down Duvalier by any means necessary. Wow. And he paid the price for that. The ultimate price ended up in Fort Dimanche for many months. Long story short, when my grandma, the day of the release, went to pick him up, celebration day for the family and everything, when she got there, they told her, sorry, but your husband has passed away. Yeah.
How do you carry that in your identity and in your art?
We were talking about symbols, right? So to me, it's like a little piece of what was missing in my story, and a piece of mine also. That thing that I was looking for, telling me why am I that way? Why am I someone who has to take a stand and be loud and can't accept authority, and why am I that way? Because we have that DNA thing, biological DNA, but people don't think about that. We also have that spiritual DNA, talent and perspective. So when that story has been told to me, I was like, okay, that's what it is.
It was the key to understanding
where I come from. That what's the root of this? You know what I mean? And then I had a choice to make. Should I honor my mom and dad's silence, or should I honor my grandpa's strength and power and desire to speak and to change things and to go towards the truth and justice? I had to make a choice. But basically you don't choose, you are the way you are. And I had to do me, and now I understand why, in some way.
So there's something about you that is about speaking out against things that you disagree with or that you think are wrong. And is that usually well received when you do that, when you speak out?
It depends. It depends on every individual. I guess there's some people have a Manichaean way of seeing things, left and right, or good or evil.
Black and white.
Yeah. To me, it's just a line, and then you figure out who you are, and then you have to stand at the right spot on the line just to rebalance things. But you have to follow who you are. You can't fight it. You can spend your entire life fighting it, trying to mimic someone else. At the end of the day, you can only be who you are and give who you are, So is it well received? Depending on who's fighting themselves or who's loose. But to me...
I was thinking about the speech you gave at the event Nous in 2012, where you spoke about, how people might want to give you a label or pigeonhole you or want you to represent them. Is it hard to carry that weight of people looking to you to be something?
it's somewhat of a sacrifice in the sense of you know what you're gonna, but sacrifice. Then again, you know, what's the worst that can happen to me? You know, not reaching what success is supposed to be, or the definition of success in this society, or maybe not pushing as many units as I would like to push. Not too big of a price to pay, considering like what people have paid before me, when we be talking about my grandpa, or so many people working so like hard every day. Like I have the chance to meet through my work so many people who are in the background of things, that they don't have a spotlight on them, they don't have a camera on them, and they do the work, do the time. It's not about how much they're getting paid for it. It's about helping, giving, you know what I mean? To me, those are the true heroes, people who inspire me for real. When people stand together, when it becomes a movement, when people remember what it is to stand in unity, that makes me want to be part of it, you know what I mean? So the speech of the new, I had to ask myself the question, am I going to say exactly what I want them to hear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That easy, comfortable speech of just blending with the rest of them? Or am I going to take the opportunity and really speak for the people I know that we don't see too often, and really have something to say? The people who are like, yo, we here, we exist, give us a spot. What am I going to, of course, it's not going to be as well received, or it's going to shake the house a little bit more, but which path do I choose? So I had to go with, I thought a lot about that before I did it, but I had to go with my people, yeah.
And so how does this inspire you in your actual musical writing, your songwriting? How does it bleed into your artistic work?
I think it's a matter of intent, right? You have to decide from the beginning when you start, when you go through the art process, you have to decide if you're going to follow a structure that's going to bring you to a result that you already know what it's going to be, or if you want to use it and be loose about it, you know, and let it speak through you, and you know, it's like I was saying before. You have to follow who you are. If you're built to follow a structure, and you're comfortable in a 9 to 5, and you're comfortable in knowing where you will be in 5 years, for example, then you won't be able to break that. I've dealt with people who tried, you know, to be like loose, but they need that structure. So it's best for you to stick with the structure. If you're not built for that structure, you will never be comfortable in it. You will fight yourself all your life. So you need to be loose. You need to just act, just walk, just proceed and see what happens. And to me, just doing me, just proceeding, led me to music, led me to writing, and formed the colors and the tone that my music and my lyrics took, you know. And it's the intent. It's I feel like we were talking about symbols, right?
Yeah.
Symbols are important, especially to the kids. We teach them a lot about symbols. I've met great teachers doing more than what's expected. Great inspiration also. I went through all the schools in Quebec, right? Met all the kids and the teachers, yeah. Some of them are really, really, really working hard, more than just teaching the subject, the discipline, trying to spark something in the kids' souls and spirits, spark passion, right? Because we spend a lot of time teaching them about history, about what others do. And we spend a lot of time on Twitter and Facebook trying to mimic and compare ourselves, measure ourselves to what others is doing. But we don't teach our kids anymore about finding who they are. I'm saying you're in primary school, like, no, not even, like, okay, high school, 3rd year of high school, you're having fun smoking joints and partying and drinking beer, and then they come at you with the okay, what are you gonna be in life? And you're like, man, this is not where your brain is at that moment, because they have not taught you about knowing. You need to meet yourself first.
Yeah.
Do that. You know, you go within and know who you are. What is your talent? What is your source? What are you gonna bring to the world? That you're the only one who can bring it that way. You know what I mean?
And hearing other artists, hearing artists or hearing music can be very inspiring when you're a teenager, to understand who you are and who you want to be. And so maybe in conclusion, we could talk about your awesome music. Are we going to be able
thank
to hear some new stuff soon?
I'm always at work, like
Yeah.
I say. I'm always working on my next project, my solo project, and also working on many things with Mazayan.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it's just a matter of feeling the vibe and knowing what the people want to hear and what represents the people the best, and then it's going to come out. Yeah, as soon as the people is behind us and we feel the vibe and the power, it's going to come out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it, Jenny. Thanks for
Thank
being
you
with
very
us.
much. Thank you. Really cool interview. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks.